The streets of Baghdad buzzing with tensions. Political leaders are scrambling after the general elections and the eyes of the world turning to one big question: who will lead Iraq next? Well, the elections were held this Tuesday, but already the chessboard of Iraqi politics is full of twists. The current Prime Minister, al-Sudani, isn't just anyone. Well, appointed by a Shiite coordination framework back in 2022, he shocked many by cozying up to Washington. Now, that move didn't sit well with Tehran-aligned factions or anybody who was worried of his growing power. Now, experts say that the next government might swing closer to Iran's allies, leaving the moderate voices like al-Sudani on the sidelines. But here's the thing. No matter what happens in the election, Turkey-Iraq relationship aren't going anywhere. Since 2024, Ankara and Baghdad, they have built a strategic partnership. And we are not talking about just the talks here. We are talking about security cooperation, economic projects, water sharing, investment, the works. Even al-Sudani admitted back in May that regardless of the election results, all sides agree on one thing: keeping strong ties with Turkey. But here's the real challenge for Iraq: walking a tightrope between Washington and Tehran. And with Operation Inherent Resolve, basically the US-backed mission, and that too against Daesh since 2014, wrapping up in September 2025, the stakes, they are higher than ever. Now let's talk about the end of OIR and America pulling it back. Let me give you a flashback here. 2014, that's the year. Mosul and Tikrit fell to Daesh. The US troops, they left in 2011, came rushing back. Now, fast forward to today. OIR is ending. Basically, most coalition forces, they are leaving, but not completely here. In fact, reports say that 250 to 350 US advisors will stay at Sheen al-Assad Air Base over there. Yes, that's the same base Iran hit after Qasem Soleimani was killed, and at Al-Harar in Kurdistan. You know what their mission was? Their mission was to keep an eye on Daesh, coordinate with the US forces in Syria, and make sure that Iraq does not become a security vacuum. In fact, by 2026, when the coalition finally leaves the KRG, less than 2,000 US troops will remain in Iraq, mostly in Arbil. Next chapter. That's Iraq's balancing act here, and that too between US and Iran. So since 2003, Iran has been a major player in Iraqi politics, specifically through Shiite faction. Even though Iran's influence has dipped, but thanks to the setback in Syria, Lebanon and Gaza, it still matters. On the other side, you have US. They want Iraq to resist Iran's grip, disarm the Iraq-backed militia, support sanctions, become energy independent. Simple? Not at all. Because here's the kicker. Iran and its allies might try to exploit any vacuum that is left by the US withdrawal. And if a new Iran-Israel conflict erupts, Iraq could get the hit, and that too by the US or Israeli strikes. And then there is Popular Mobilization Forces, the PMF, officially under the Iraqi army since 2016, but still running with autonomy. The US wants clarity here. Dissolve them, integrate them fully. Iraq's next government will have to decide the future of this part. Now, since 1990, Turkey has been fighting the PKK in northern Iraq. But it's not just war, it's smart diplomacy too. By building strong ties with Kurdistan regional government, Ankara boosted trade, energy, security cooperation. In fact, during Daesh fight, that was between 2013 to 2017, Turkish forces trained the Kurdish forces and Iraqi National Guard troops as well. And that too post 2018, Turkey built permanent bases in KRG, basically a move that surprised many. Then came 2021. By that period of time, Turkey had 5 major bases with 4,000 soldiers, and its military points jumped from 37 to 100 in just 2 years. Now, initially, Baghdad wasn't really happy, calling it a violation of sovereignty. But then Ankara changed the tactics. Less confrontation and more partnership. The reset paid off. Then, October 2024, Turkey and Iraq signed a major MOU on military, security and counterterrorism cooperation as well. The PKK was officially banned, and Turkish operations in northern Iraq got Baghdad's coordination. Be it joint training, be it cyber warfare, be it information sharing, and even Turkish UCAVs. It was a game changer, by the way. Now, with the US stepping back, Ankara wants a stable Iraq to fight the PKK, contain Iran, and protects its energy interest as well. So, in the end, here's the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen. Elections may change the face in power, but Turkey-Iraq ties, they are stronger than ever. The US is gradually leaving, Iran still has ideological influence, and the PMF's future is kind of uncertain here. Turkey is not just watching, it is actively shaping Iraq's security and energy landscape, all while keeping an eye on its old foe, that's the PKK. In the next few years, Iraq will be the ultimate balancing act, and Turkey, well, it's ready to play its cards, bold, strategic, and unapologetic. Stay tuned, because what happens here will ripple across the entire Middle East.